So I choose to allow my girlfriend to sleep with other men. That doesn't give you the right to call me a cuck. And this is a message for all the people out there using that hateful language. Why don't you try going a day in my shoes, where you are with someone you love very much and you want them to be able to express themselves physically and spiritually in a way that perhaps they can't do with just you. Now, personally, I would never sleep with another woman. I love my girlfriend very much, but I know that her needs require her to have the right to explore that territory. And if it means I have to sleep on the sofa a few days a week, then, so be it. Ultimately, our relationship means more to me than, my ego or my jealousy. So think about what you're saying when you use that word.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code Cultivation on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you tonight?
I am doing fine. How about yourself?
Hello, my darlings.
Great, man. Fucking great. Really. Couldn't be happier. Here hanging with all y'all. Coolest cats in the canna community.
Oh, shucks.
Love you guys, man. And all the people out there listening live. What is up, motherfuckers? How are you?
Welcome to your show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the few podcasts I would say that is for growers by growers. We focus on the home grow side of things. Like to get down and dirty in the details. And I don't know. What else do we do? Sex jokes and
Innuendos,
crude humor,
crazy
innuendos. Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes we get
We're
into
all over
some
the
weird
place.
shit. Yeah, for sure.
It is. It's an adventure every show.
yeah, get a little wild.
Man, ain't that the truth? It's wherever the winds take us, and the conversational winds, as it were.
That's
all
the
this
beauty of
is,
an
you know?
unscripted show, man.
We just get together and talk, for sure. It is a beautiful thing. So yeah, thanks for being here. And what are you smoking on tonight?
Me? I guess I'll go
Yeah,
first.
go
Good.
first.
Tell us.
Go ahead.
Smoking on some cherry smash. Wow.
Mm,
Yep.
cherry smash.
In-house genetics.
All right. Yeah, no, you've mentioned that one before.
hmm
Mm.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those strains that doesn't quite get talked about enough from in-house. He's got the slurricane, that you known about the platinums and all that shit, but the cherry smash, I feel like doesn't get enough love.
Well, I know it's one of your faves. You love those cherry terps. Now I'm gonna have to steal a joke. I'm gonna credit
Sure.
the man though from
All
Nerd
right.
Grows. You know we love
Yeah.
our man in the Discord with that crazy humor.
Yeah, I like
So
this.
he made a joke the other day. What would the strain be called if you crossed Girl Scout cookies with cherry smash? Just don't think too hard. It'd be called White Van. White windowless van, or something to that effect. I know.
Fucking
I
nerd,
thought it
bro.
was a crude joke, but
A little
that's
dark.
what we
A
do
little
here.
dark.
Man.
But
That's
I
what we
enjoy
do.
some dark humor from time to time.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Don't advise anyone name their strain that though. Well, yeah. Let's move right on ahead. Pretend like that never occurred. G3, what do you got tonight?
The beauty of a live show.
It's gonna be a wild
Um,
one tonight.
yeah. I have this, well, hopefully it's still amazing, Mango Sunset that Frost Farmer sent me. So this is like, I haven't touched her since last week, and I really, really liked her last week. So we'll see how she does tonight. The
All
good
right.
news with her is there are 3 more seeds where she came from, and I have all 3 of them.
Okay.
So
Good for you.
that's gonna be fun. Once I get some space to breed, or once I don't get some space to breed, once I just decide to do it, she's definitely gonna be part of the rotation. Yeah, she's fun so far. I really like her.
Hell yeah.
See where
Nice.
tonight goes.
All right.
She
Yeah. What
keeps
about
you
you?
keeps you level headed, keeps you kind of
I don't know. Yes, sure.
maybe.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yep.
We'll see where tonight goes. There have been
Yes.
many men that have
love
been
it.
dreaming for you to say that to them for years.
I love it. Right? Truth. Well, same with me. I got something kind of new tonight. Diesel Frost, it is called, from Exclusive Genetics. He's kind of a not a obscure breeder, but lesser known guy out of New York. And he did a whole line with sour diesel. It's kind of like the whole theme of my tent. And this one is a cross with Slurricane number 7 and
Ooh-wee.
Sour Diesel Backcross 4. That was reversed. So it's a female seed, The Slurricane is the mother and the Diesel was the reversed father. So
I like a lot of those back cross work, man, because get some pretty cool shit out of that.
yeah, right. Well, the back cross does what? Like that'll bring out some like, I mean, you would think it stabilizes it and makes it like more true to the strain you're trying to create, right?
I guess that kind of depends on how they go about it, but it's definitely a good way to preserve lineage, you know. And that seems like that's the name of his game, right? Like he's breeding with shit that should be kept around, quite frankly.
Yeah. I'm not really sure, man. All I know is, I saw this cross, and I know you've raved about Slurricane before. It's an in-house strain, one of their more famous ones, and I jumped on it. And man, I am happy I did. I'll show you a little sample of this bud structure. It's nice and chunky. Like the modern like bud structure.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a little like look of that old school, like not quite foxtaily, but
It's funny, it to me, maybe it's just because you've told me what it is, but it definitely looks like a cross between the two of them. You know, like you see a child and with its parents, and you're like, yeah, you look a little bit like your mom and your dad. And I would say that that's the case with that flower there, because you get that kind of spindly, like weird look from the diesel, which is normal,
Yeah.
um, and then a little bit more refined. Hence the frost name in that strain from the Slurricane, because that shit frosts everything up, like the leaves, fan leaves, like everything gets trichromes. So it's a
Yeah, it did
it's a
well
very
in
very
the
potent
trim
strain.
bin for
Yeah,
sure. And
bin
like
trim.
in the bin trim. Now this has a very unique terp profile. Again, I would say it has much more of a fruity note to it, but like fruity and funky, like kind of a nasty fruit. You know, almost in that Mango Smile ballpark, where it's just like a skunky, rotten fruit kind of note. It's very nice indeed.
Nice.
Very nice. I like. I'm gonna do a little hit here, guys. Cheers to YOLO, right?
You really need some like acid time. Anybody happens to be particularly good at that?
You could just start humming the national
We
anthem.
sit here and listen to Cap hit his bong.
It's like the ASMR portion of the show, guys. You can all join along and hit your bong while I
Join along and hit your bong.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a thing.
Oh, didn't even know it.
Join along and hit your bong
Join
with
along
Captain.
and hit your bong. Now,
with Captain.
I'm gonna sing
Gather
a song.
around the fire.
Exactly. Got a kids show in the works here, guys. When YouTube asks, is this made for kids? We're going to say yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Every upload, they make sure to let us know that this is not kid content.
No, they don't like it. I don't like that for kids.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, really.
How's that for your kid?
Well, I mean, it's funny. You know what I was thinking about? And, you know, we see someone in the chat here. Green Velvet Farm says we're doing group bong rips. You know what, man? Sometimes it does feel like that, like kind of a virtual smoke circle, as it were.
I'm here for the gangbang.
In the beginning of the show. Right. Was there a pineapple on the door that I saw? Excuse me. But I like to imagine that we are all smoking together. Of course. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine like the hundreds of people that are listening to this episode if we all got together in a room and could get high together, like the crazy conversations that would kind of like happen just naturally on their own, and like man, I can't even imagine. Some of you are all probably like some really cool motherfuckers, and I hope one day we can do that.
I believe probably most all of them are probably.
Some, no, not
Shit,
all,
man, you
for
gotta
sure.
be
There's
cool
probably
if you're
some
listening to this
real
show.
weirdos and squares too.
Yeah.
But as in
We
all
welcome you
groups,
all.
you know.
Yeah.
It's
Takes all kinds to make this world go round.
for sure. Well, I'll smoke with anyone. Shit. If you're smoking bongs, you're probably not a square. Put it that way. So, cheers, guys. Yeah, Monster. We were talking some about these newfangled drying contraptions that are on the market. A lot this week, man.
Mm-hmm. We sure were.
Been hearing a lot of chatter about various devices.
The Discord was a flutter.
They are. Well, I think it takes time for people to like see these things and like understand them too, because like not everyone's around for like every time someone does a post about it. Not everyone sees it, so like it's every time someone sees this thing again, it's like I feel like it kind of like kindles a little spark. And don't get me wrong, this thing's a fucking cool product. And if I had money to burn, you better believe I'd get one. And I'm sure a lot of you know what we're talking about. The Canatrol. right? Looks like a glorified wine cabinet. Put your weed in it, cure it, or you dry
Weed
it
cabinet.
and you cure it. Is that the concept? Yeah, weed
I mean,
cabinet.
we've already established that dry and cure are basically at the same
Mhm.
temperature and humidity, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
just because we move location and call it something different, it's in a
Yeah,
smaller
and I already see
area.
some comments.
No,
We're not saying it's not.
that it's
We're
not
not
good.
saying it's not good.
It is good.
It is
You gotta-
good.
We
You
will
gotta-
not dispute that it is
It's
not
very good.
good.
You just have to hear me out and understand the logic where my mind comes from. And look, we're all entitled to our opinions, and opinions are like assholes, and everyone's got them, and they all smell like shit. Okay, so you can take it for what it's worth, but like chances are, if you're listening to this show, you somewhat value my opinion, or you wouldn't be here. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So let's
I'd
start.
like
Well,
to have enough
I mean,
knowledge to have an
and if
opinion.
it-
So if Canatrol wants to send me one, I'm totally up for that.
For sure.
Well-
And and if nothing else, we have a platform and they don't. So they're just going to have to sit there and fucking listen to what we say. And that's just how it is. So, what were you saying, Monster?
So the Canatrol. First of all, let's get this right out off the bat. It works, and it works really well. I've actually sampled flower from a few different growers that have used them, and I think it came out really good. I was impressed. No problem with the smoke whatsoever. Can't say anything bad about it. However, for the price tag, and you can, in most cases, you can set up a dry room to dry your whole tent for probably less than that, right? And that's where I'm coming from. So we were talking. There was a member in our Discord earlier that was like, "Oh, I need it because it's discreet." And okay, well, I'm sure that like maybe 1 in 10 cases of people purchasing something like that that's the reason for it. In that case, I'm cool, right? Uh, but then like you're talking about getting like two of them or more, and at that point, if you have room for 2 Canatrols, you have room to set up a dry.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
you
the reality.
got cash to do it properly.
Yeah,
And like
yeah, because they don't give you a deal when you buy two. It's not like buy one, get 25% off the next one. They're what, 1,600 clams?
Again,
What's
how
what's
much
the
do they
volume
hold?
inside
Yeah, how much do
one?
they hold? It's like it's not much. If I'm gonna look it up on the fly here, but someone in our chat might be able to get us the answer quick. In any case, I think like you're gonna have to buy a shit ton of them if you grow, any decent amount of like a respectable harvest.
Yeah, like if you just have a small little 2x2 or whatever, and you just throw your shit in there, cool. But that's 4 wet pounds of herb, and mind you, you lose like 80% capacity of the herb when it's dry. So how much herb are you really putting in there at the end of the day, right? Um, it's not scalable. Exactly. That's what we were saying before the show, Jimmy. It's not a scalable product to be able to dry and cure your whole harvest. It's just not.
I can
It is
understand
for the
a
if you have
retrofitted wine cabinet, like for real, for real. You could get one of these. I'm pretty sure you could make this out of a wine cabinet that you buy at like Home Depot, right?
Yeah, and probably regulate it with like an AC Infinity controller or some
If you
sorts.
really want to do that. But like, I think I'm sorry, G3. I cut you off. What?
No, it's totally fine. I was just saying, like, if you have a very specifically sized grow, that's all automated, and you have this that complements the size of it, and you have the money to spend on it, it automates everything for you, makes it absolutely foolproof, gives you your medicine perfectly every time. Like, why not?
Oh, look at
If
that.
you're not worried about scaling,
You
Oh,
do
you do
get
get
a
there is a discount.
multi-unit discount if you want to.
$50.
If
That's really not a whole fucking.
$50 off, you're $1,600 a piece.
But listen, back to it. They work great. I'm not going to tell you they don't. I just don't think it's scalable, and especially for somebody like me or the average,
Where do I
really
see?
like home grow laws here in Massachusetts. You can grow up to 12 plants. That's useless for somebody growing 12 plants. It just is. And for $1,600, shit, if you had to, you could even install a fucking um, portable AC and a DHU, and bam, you're up and running. I mean, it's just not that complicated. I think people tend to look for the easy way out, um,
Sure.
and they'll spend more than they have to achieve the same results. That's all.
I, you
Look,
know, I
There you
think,
go. How much is actually in there,
dude,
you
it
think?
can't be much. It says it will hold about 4 pounds of dried buds in the perfect condition for months to come. So that's more than I actually thought it would be.
That doesn't
no,
look like 4 pounds.
that's 4 pounds wet.
4 pounds
It
of
says
dried buds
dry.
right here. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
what I'm reading in the press release type, I'm not looking at the specs. The point remains, I think drying is a scary proposition. It is. Like we all know you can easily fuck up hard work. Like months and months of hard work. You can fuck it up in the span of a week, literally days if you don't
Yep.
have it down right. It's scary. So like you said, Monster, people are looking for a shortcut. People are looking for like a cheat code, people are looking for
I mean,
like
you could consider autopots as a cheat code too. I'll take that cheat code every day of the week. What if you're in like a terribly difficult environment, like super, super humid, and it's really difficult to hit your correct numbers, and like no matter what you do, it's just really hard to get that correct dry. Don't you think it's kind of worth it in those conditions
Yes and no,
to do
but
something like this?
if you're
well,
having a hard time achieving those numbers, it's because your equipment isn't sized properly to your space.
I think that's the point. Like Monster
Mm-hmm.
could show you how to, like whatever you need, whether it's like a huge humidifier, a dehumidifier, any like just buy that equipment, learn the basics of drying and curing and like just get it down.
You could buy a badass commercial dehumidifier for like $600, right? You could buy a portable air conditioner for another $600 or $700, right? And I'd recommend a mini split or even a window unit over a portable, but I'm trying to make this easy for people to like achieve for themselves. You could go out and spend that $1,600 and set up the baddest fucking dry room that I guarantee you, if you go out and spend that kind of money, especially on a commercial dehu, will will do the job
For sure, man.
Lots of plants.
with your whole
A
harvest.
lot of
Now,
plants.
look, like I said, if you don't have the space or you really need to be discreet, and look, at the end of the day, maybe you can like stagger your harvest and put a plant in at a time. Great, and if that works for you, awesome. But for like, if you have like anything more than a 2x2 or a 3x3, I just don't think that it's practical.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for real though, if it is 4 pounds, okay, like that is a lot more than I thought it was. Just saying, like, I do have to look into that more because I mean, that's I haven't grown more than that in a single harvest yet. Yet, okay, even in a 5x5. So like, if that's the truth, I mean, shit. It might actually be worth it. But the point remains, guys. For less than half that cost, we can get you outfit properly with like a dry tent that functions basically the same as the Canatrol. It just has it's a more rudimentary unit, okay? It doesn't look as cool. You can't get your logo branded on it. But whatever. Like get a tent, get the basic shit, guys, and like learn the basics and like
Okay,
don't
so
rely on someone else to do the work for you or
he
something else. That's some
he has one
real.
here. This is the kid I was talking about, talking to in our Discord earlier. So 2.2 pounds wet to dry, and then when if it's dry flour, it
Okay,
can store
okay.
up to 4 pounds.
Word. All right. So that's most of a harvest for me on a good day. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's still 2.2 pounds wet is more than I thought it would hold.
Mhm.
So, touche. I will have to reevaluate whether it is in fact like price, whether it's worth the juice is worth the squeeze, as a wise man once said. I just am more of a believer in learning the basics and learning how to operate your own dry on your own without relying on someone else to do the work for you. Like you're going to sit in the corner and watch while the canitrol does the job that you should have done. Like some fucking cuckold, right? It's disgusting. You people disgust me. Don't like you're in, what do they call it? The cuck chair in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big conversation. Yeah, every hotel room has a cuck chair. Just one random chair by itself in the corner.
Just
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Glaring creepily at the bed. It's always faced like in the direction of the bed too. That's the part that gets me.
It has a purpose. That's what it's there for.
Let's just sit there and watch while the canitrol just fucks your girl for you and lets you clean it up.
I'm sorry, you just can't measure up.
Oh God. I don't know why that got me so turned on though, hearing that. Just why do I like hearing that? Oh man, this is a weird kink, you guys. This is a really weird kink.
Like we're not telling you that like this isn't like one of those things like the herbs here now dryer. Like I'm bashing that, but like just gotta think about it. Like unless you're one of the few people that really need something that discreet, I just don't see the point in it. There is another product I kind of wanted to talk about. It's more of a newer product on the market.
Boy.
Oh gosh.
Called the Cure Puck. Have you guys seen this?
The Pure Cuck?
I have heard whisperings of this, but I have, like, honestly, based on the name alone, I did not go searching for more information.
So,
the Cure Puck.
The Cure Puck.
Yeah. Now, I will start off by saying that the device works. I think it's pretty fucking cool. Does some pretty cool shit, but it's $600.
What?
For basically it's a air pump connected to a sensor, right? That vacuums out the stale air and puts fresh air in your chamber based on certain parameters. Now, there's some things that this does.
Like it like burps for you. It's an automatic burping machine
basically,
for $600.
Yep. And I've had some discussions with people about this. So it reads humidity and CO2 levels, which are important during like the first 24 hours. CO2 levels can be kind of insightful to let you know how much your shit's off gassing, but it's really not necessary. You could basically set the same thing up with a air mattress pump connected to an AC Infinity controller and literally get the same results for fucking the 69 controller Pro is $100. You don't even have to get the Pro version. You could just get the regular one. But if you wanted to go Wi-Fi, and have all the bells and whistles, and then an air mattress pump and a tote, you can be into the whole thing for like $150 max. And most people have like air pumps and shit laying around their house.
Do they?
If you listen to the work,
like Monster might.
It's just there's nothing fancy about it. It looks pretty cool. It's touchscreen and all that. But like Jesus Christ, $600 for.
Look, dude, listen. Like humiliation is part of the fetish.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be like you can't. It's not just about like letting the machine do the work for you. It's about like being like having them like rub your nose in it while it's happening and like spending the $600 as opposed to the $100. It's just like that's what That's what cuckolds enjoy. I'm sorry to say, but
I love the idea of it. I think it's an awesome device. I can't say anything bad about it. I'm sure it works just great. But it's fucking $600, you know. And at the end of the day, like I've been telling you guys, if you just listen to me, just use fucking Grove bags once your shit's done drying. It does a perfect job of keeping them at the perfect level, and there's no need to burp or anything. I just throw them in Grove bags and I leave it shut. I kid you not, it's that simple. I was skeptical at first too. I talked hella shit about Grove bags, and then I
well,
actually used
you know
them.
what? And maybe we'll one day change our tune about like the pure cuck or
No,
the the canatrol or like I think honestly for me like it's not that I'm disputing the efficacy of these products. Okay, for me it is I'd say 90% plus about the price of these gadgets. I think they're just like outrageous. It's the can attacks, and I think just learn basics on your own. Like, don't spend that kind of money on a fancy gizmo, however cool it might be. Like, you know, fucking Apple glasses or whatever these things are. Like,
Oh my
see
gosh,
these
those are.
things.
if you got mold in your Grove bags, it's because your product wasn't finished drying. That's just
Ooh, in
that
the
simple.
Grove bags, yeah, that was maybe a little excess moisture before you put it in there.
Yeah, it's what we call operator error. Can't blame the Grove bags.
Well, yeah, they
Check the
don't like.
hygrometer in there.
So I think it is a little confusing, okay? Because Grove bags kind of advertise as like, you put the bud in there. It doesn't matter if it's a little too wet, a little too dry. It'll still like it'll balance it out for you and keep it in that 58 to 62 range, okay? But I don't think that's the case. Though that is kind of how they present the
Yeah,
product,
look, but
right?
look, there's limitations to everything, you know.
Right. There's only so much it can do. It's like having
Like I
microbes in
liken
your
it.
soil. They can help you with a lot of things, but they can't work miracles.
I mean, look, it's like the analogy that comes to mind is a car, right? Like your car will go 0 to 60 in however many seconds, right? But if you fucking load it up to the point where it can barely move, um, it's not gonna be efficient. It's
Hmm.
not gonna work. Who the hell is this Esteban dude?
I don't know. You remember Esteban from like QVC infomercials? Man, he played the guitar like very
No, I never
sensual
watched
finger
QVC
style guitar.
infomercials.
He had these really long fingernails, and he played the guitar like flamenco style. It was super cool.
Mhm.
This sold his
I'll take your word for it.
sold his CDs on QVC. I'm pretty sure back in the day. So but yeah, you know, guys, if you need any help setting up a cure, any kind of thing you're struggling with, you can come to us. We got a Discord, message us. Like, we will literally hold your hand and walk you through it. Like Monsta has blueprints for the Monsta humidifier, right? If you're living out there in the middle of the desert and you need moisture, that's the problem. We got you covered, right?
Yep. If you need to get dry, we got
yeah,
Nerd
you need to
Grows.
get dry. That's right. That's right. It's so funny. We just get Nerd Grows to talk about Dungeons and Dragons for you. Dries them right up every time, he says. Fucking love that guy. He's so funny, man. He's funny as fuck. Guys, we got you covered, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm, again, not disputing that these things work. And like, hey, if they were a little bit more reasonably priced,
You
you
wouldn't even hear me
might hear
talking
me
about it.
change my tune on them. Like,
No, if they were like
Okay, so
three or
what do you
four hundred
think is a
dollars,
reasonable? So you think like the thing if the
honestly, for the Canatrol,
$2.99.
half the price at least. We're talking like that's a starter, right? 800, still way too much. Way too much for what this thing. Like, you can buy the same size wine cabinet from Home Depot for like $3.99. What does this thing do that's different? It maintains an environment, right? How is the technology any different? I'm just for real, for real.
Is the air exchange higher? I can imagine if you're actively drying a product.
I don't know, man. Maybe we
and
need
storing wine. I imagine at least during that stage, your airflow would have to be higher.
maybe they retrofit it with some kind of like bigger fan,
Yeah,
exhaust
somebody-
fan, something
there
like
must
that.
be.
It's all based off dew point, which is still based off. You could still boil it down to temperature and humidity. Which remind me, Cap, that I want to talk a little bit more about temp and humidity later after we get done bashing all these products. um, like in that case, I think it works out. I think somebody said it worked out to like 65 degrees and 65% humidity or some shit like that. There's just no reason why you couldn't achieve that. And look, just build yourself a little box that does the same thing. I mean,
Yeah, the old school, like you got a cardboard box and a computer fan.
yeah, it has a tray that collects water the first couple of days on the outside. You need to empty. Okay, well, that makes sense. It's basically like a dehumidifier. Because especially that first day
Yeah, because
or so in there, it's super
it'll
humid.
fill up for sure.
Yeah.
Like it gets,
Yep.
and that's listen. I think that is the challenging part of the dry for sure. Is that you have to adjust. It's not just keep it at 60-60 the whole time. Okay, like okay, yeah, maybe if you did that, you would probably be successful. Okay, but it's how do you maintain that? How do you achieve that? And like understanding the way the plant like responds to just like filling up the volume of air that you put it in. It's gonna like get to 100% humidity probably real quick in the first few days while it's off gassing the most amount of moisture, right? And then like after a few days, it stops doing that so much. You know, you notice like the fan's not kicking on as much, doesn't quite spike the humidity as fast as it once did. You got to adjust, is what I'm saying, to these different like phases of the plant during the dry. And for me, it's about adjusting the volume of air that the plant is in. I think that is the key. Once I understood that, it kind of all like really everything started to like just get easy for me, you know?
You want to hear something that will blow most people's minds? And they don't think about it. We all talk about VPD, VPD, VPD. Well, basically, I want you to think of that as like a vacuum, like on the plants themselves. Well, you apply the same theory to drying, right? It's a matter of how fast that moisture can evaporate, and if you have the right parameters set, it's going to work out just fine.
It is, man. You just have to know. You have to know what the plant's going to do. And I think if you like, again, I think if you adjust the volume of air that the plant is in, at least for me, that was the key. You know, you start in a tent. After a few days, you switch to a bin, like a what would we call it? Like a 40-gallon storage tote that you get from Walmart or Target, right? Or even a smaller container than that. You can have different, you know, you can like put it in the 40-gallon for 3-4 days, then put it in a 20-gallon for like another couple days, and then you like bucket, trim it, put it in a jar, and that's an even smaller volume of air then for it to like come to like a homeostasis in exactly. Exactly. Like, and it's about balancing that moisture in the air. And if you are manually adjusting the volume of air, which is the key variable there, I mean, shit, it gets easy. So, I don't know, guys. Don't sit in the corner like a weirdo. Take an active role in your plants getting off or getting dry. I don't know. Just do it. Just do it, guys. You'll feel better about yourselves. I promise. Not to kink shame or anything.
No, and like, look, anybody listening to this that has one, we're not telling you you made a bad decision, but
Oh,
I'm
you made
telling
a
you,
great choice.
I think you can do better for the money. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. And in some cases, if you need to be discreet, I think it's a great option. You just throw it in the corner. Shit, you could throw a blanket over it. You could even look like a table, with a blanket over it and some knickknacks on it. Nobody would know the difference. Um, but and if you have the space set up for a grow, uh, think about getting the space set up for a dry. We've talked about it before, man. It's one of those things that people overlook all the time. Like shit, I've had people talk to me, like friends and stuff, like, yeah, you get some nice shit going. You go and check out their grow. It looks great. Everything's going well. So yeah, where are you going to dry it? They haven't
I
even
don't know. I don't
thought
know.
about it
I
yet.
don't know. We'll
They
cross
hadn't
that
even
bridge
thought
when we
about it
get there.
yet. Yeah.
It's not the fun part of growing, but it's the important part of growing.
Mm-hmm. It is definitely a skill. And it's an art. It's definitely an art.
It's only an art you learn through like a lot of pain generally because you got to screw up over and over to really nail it
I
down.
fucked it up quite a few times, and I guess, listen, if it's just more worth it to you to spend that money and like take away that learning curve.
All right, we got to
More
answer
power
this
to
guy's
you.
question
More
because
power to you.
we got people giving bad advice. Look, somebody asked, "What do you do for airy buds?" And somebody replied in the chat, "PK boost," and that's just wrong. Like, look, a PK boost could help you get fuller buds, but generally speaking, your airy buds could be genetics, but more times than not, it's probably not. It's the way you're growing, your heat, your environment, maybe how much you're feeding. Hot, humid environments that are too hot will lead to airy buds. Um, but yeah, you're not just going to remedy a situation with a PK boost.
For sure, man. That while there are some things you can do to maybe get your buds a little harder, like a certain blue pill your doctor might prescribe. If that's a problem for you, then maybe you do just want to like get a canatrol and let that do all the work for you guys. You're never gonna satisfy your girls. No, I'm playing. The There are a number of things you can do. Okay, like one of which I would say is maybe adjust how close your lights are to your plants. You want to, if you're getting airy buds, I think lighting would be the first thing I look to. Are you properly lit for the space you're in?
Yeah, that's another thing I totally didn't mention. Yeah, if you don't have enough, PPFD, you're going to get airy, kind of wispy buds.
And it's like you usually, if you really want those dense, like Instagram worthy, that rock hard bud. Um, I think lighting has a lot to do with it, but I agree with Monster. Like genetics first and foremost.
Genetics.
If you can only, the plant will only become what it is coded to be.
See,
so it's if you're getting an airy bud, first thing I'd look to is what strain are you growing?
Pop into our Discord.
Breeder?
Let us know your deets.
Come on over.
Temp, humidity. That brings me back to something else I kind of wanted to spin on. Y'all motherfuckers aren't setting your AC Infinity fan right,
Oh
and
my gosh.
it's really pissing me off. All right, I'm gonna try to remain calm here.
Even after I berated these people for not using their fucking
I
exhaust
see
fans
so
correctly.
many Instagram posts and videos where you catch a glimpse of that controller and you see the fucking thing. They're just using it as a speed controller for like 3 or 4.
When it's
and their
set to
temp's like
on, right?
Yeah, there's just no temp. They're not using it set right. And their temps are like 74 degrees, which is too cold for LED. So listen, I'm gonna go over this with you real fucking quick. And there's videos on AC Infinity website that actually explain this in like 2 minutes. You can only use the thing in a couple of manners. You have your high temp, you have your low temp, you have your high humidity, your low humidity, and then you have your VPD settings. But we're just going to talk about the basic high temp, low temp settings, okay? So you have a recommended temperature. I'm going to tell you around 82 to 84 degrees in veg with LED lights, okay? So you would scroll down to the high temp setting on your AC Infinity fan and change that to between 82 and 84 degrees. And then you can set your minimum fan speed at whatever you want. I'd
Usually,
recommend
minimum fan speed. Yeah, don't make it too high.
no, because
That's
then you're
my
just defeating the
recommendation.
whole they're defeating the whole purpose. And some of the older controllers don't have a minimum fan speed, so it just only comes on when it needs to. Now, you can also add, like, let's say maybe like a high humidity. So like maybe at night when shit gets rowdy, right? You can kind of have that kick on as needed to suck out humidity. Um, you can't use it both ways though. Like say I want a high temp and a low temp because it's just gonna try to achieve both. It can't. It can only achieve one or the other. It's gonna achieve your high temp or a low temp or a high humidity or a low humidity. So set it the right way. And please, for the love of God, don't just use it as a speed controller. If you listen, here's the thing most people don't know this. If you insist on just using it as a speed controller, they make one that's cheaper. Save yourself, you know, 60 or
Yeah.
$70 and get the base model and just use it, put it on 3 or 4 and be happy as a clam and don't listen to Monster and keep doing your thing. But please, for the love of God, if you have one with a temperature probe, have it climate control, man. That's what your plants need. That's what they want. And you've spent the money to do so. I'm not telling
Amen.
you to go out and buy one of these fucking things, but if you have one, please,
I think a lot of people
please.
do. It's what the controller 60, even the 67, I
7.
think does
Yep,
that,
the
man. Like you don't
67.
even
They
need the
all.
69, dude. But like
Ah.
it, you are paying for that feature to to set up the computer for thresholds. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, I only really worry about two of the four variables. That's high temp and high humidity.
Amen.
Okay, because
Preach.
we can take low humidity and low temp and just fucking set them as low as possible. That means we do not want the fan to to kick on because it will never go below those numbers, right?
Yeah, you
So
just
like
set
my
those to
low
off.
temp, yeah, you could set it to off. I think I have my low temp for like 40, 50 degrees, right? My low humidity for like 10%. So essentially the fans never kick on.
Mm-hmm.
I only worry about the two variables that matter. High humidity, high temp. Why? Because your fucking grow produces heat and humidity. So if I just close my tent and have the fan off, eventually those thresholds will be met. Like the tent will get too hot and the tent will get too humid.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Exactly.
only then that I want the fan to kick on and release that air. Release
Yep.
the bad air. Bring in
Exactly.
the new
And listen,
air.
VPD is great, but like I've said before, say you're trying to achieve a number, whatever, 1 point whatever VPD. I can achieve that 1 point whatever VPD at 100 different temperatures. The way you need to think about VPD is you need to base your humidity off your temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Temperature is king. Please.
Amen.
Temperature is king.
Can I
Get
get
the
a
temperature
witness?
get set the tent to the temperature you need and then look at the VPD chart and have your
Yep.
humidity according to the temperature. And
What
that's the only
phase of
way to do
growth are you in? Really, is my question about like. All right, like if we're growing in an LED tent, LED lit tent, we could just say 82.
it. Yeah.
82 degrees, maybe even 84, guys. Like
Yeah, I usually run like
you
a
want it
little warm
warm.
and veg.
You want it
Yeah,
warm.
I run a little warm and veg around 84. Plus, it's
Even
going to save you a buck or two, right? Generally speaking, without having to exhaust that heat. Like if you have your exhaust fan set at 82, it's going to have to use more energy
mhm.
to get it to 82 than it would to 84.
And if your probe, your AC Infinity probe is sensing 82 in the tent, the air in the tent, we can assume that the leaf surface temperature is 3 to 4 degrees below that. So
Yep.
maybe it's 78, about perfect, right? You want to run hot because you don't get that radiant heat from LED lights like you would from an HID, right?
Yeah, and that's usually the biggest mistake I see people make that go from HID lighting to LED, and they don't have the success that they had with HID lighting. It's usually because the number one factor, in my opinion, is just they're not running warm
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
for sure, man. And like you said, base the humidity off of your temperature. And I mean, I like to drop the temps a little towards the end of the grow. But if you just assume like I'm going to keep it at 82, right? Perfect for sprouting seeds, perfect for early veg, perfect for late veg, early flower, right? It's 90% of the grow. 82 is boom, right there where you want to be in an LED tent. Just based on the phase of life of your plant, right? That's what kind of adjusts. Is like seedlings need a higher humidity than a vegging plant, which needs a higher humidity than a flowering plant. It kind of just drops as time goes on. It's all just a ratio of temperature to humidity. But like Monsta said, worry about the getting the temp set and then variable the humidity.
I don't mean to like scream at everybody. Just these is shit. That's just shit that just bother me. It's just, I see
Nah,
this
man,
stuff and I just
you're like a high school football coach, like yelling at the kids, like, "All right, huddle up now. Y'all just weren't hustling hard enough. I want to see some hustle on the next play. You hear? You know anything about hustle?"
Yeah, the AC Infinity fan thing, it really drives me nuts. I can't tell you how many videos and posts I've seen people on IG or whatever, and I see it in their tents like rocking at like 74 degrees, and you just see the like, oh, it's on speed 3 and it's just on. I want I can't even
Oh,
explain
man.
how angry it makes me.
I know. I thought we had, like I said, I thought we had
A little
got
reminder.
these lessons
Everybody
learned.
needs a little reminder sometimes.
Yeah, and we got new growers and new listeners too. And some people don't like to backlog the episodes; they just want to start like
I
where
know.
they've started, and that's
Mhm.
cool.
Do yourself a
But
favor. Use your fan right.
Once again, you aren't using your fucking exhaust fans correctly. You fucking idiots.
yeah, and then
God.
the other thing,
God.
real quick, if you don't have an exhaust fan set on some sort of thermostat to go off when it needs to, you're simply just doing it wrong. And I'm not telling you to go out and buy an AC Infinity. Shit, you could buy an Inkbird and fucking connect it to whatever exhaust fan you have now, and it can achieve very similar results. So I'm not sitting here telling you to go out and buy AC Infinity shit. Although if you do, use code Cultivation. Uh, just please do that because you'll step up your grow big time, man. Like plants love consistent temperatures, and if you dial in your temp with a fan speed controller, which you can achieve, like if you went and did it every day and you're there multiple times a day, because your tent temp is all going to correspond to the ambient temperature around it. So as that temp changes, your tent is going to change. So if you have your tent set at a certain temperature for your fan to kick on as needed, guess what? It'll maintain that temp, and your plants
Hell
will
yeah.
thank you.
Wise words of wisdom there from
Rant over.
a professional at his craft, you guys. I mean, really. For real, for real. Well, guys, listen. I mean, listen. It's like it's already been a fucking hour. I can't even believe that. Do you guys, Monster, you and G3, like you got like a little bit more time to chill, talk about what's going on in our grows?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Because here's where I was at. I was this close, right? This close to firing up 4 beans in like the old-fashioned 5-gallon pot method. You know, like I wanted to just get back to the hand watering techniques
From the old country.
From the old country, exactly. And like, listen, that idea lasted an hour. I actually did fill the pots. You know, I filled the 5-gallon pots. I let them sit in the tent for a little bit, and then I was like thinking about it. I'm just like, why would I not use auto pots? I mean, in all honesty, like, why would I not? Like, in my mind, I thought to myself, like, all right, well, it'll get me more, like, connected with the plants again. It'll be like, I'll be able to, like, pick them up and, like, dance with them in my tent, you know? Like,
would you, though?
Move around, like, take pictures and whisper to them.
But, like, wouldn't you do those
Would I?
extracurricular things with them anyway? You'd be spending all your time with them watering and then waiting and then watering again.
But you know what? I found the act of watering sometimes was all of that stuff. Like, I would, like, take them off their stands and, like, pick them up and, like, put them, like, remove the stand and then, like, put them back in the saucer. Right?
Whisper sweet nothings into their ears.
Then as I whisper to them, exactly, it's going to be okay.
It really depends on at what point in the ebb and flow of your grow journey you're at. You know, sometimes you have time for all of that, and sometimes you just don't.
The idea lasted, like, it was romantic for an hour or so, and then, like, I realized how, honestly, like, it, after a week, after 2 weeks, the novelty will fade, I'm sure. Like, I would have probably enjoyed, like, a week or two of, like, having, like, big, bushy, photogenic plants that I could, like, pick up and, like, do a little swing dance with in the tent, right? Like, dip and twirl and all that kind of stuff. Remember when swing dance was, like, popular for some reason in the 90s? How'd that happen?
I don't remember that.
I think swing was fun.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies. Remember that band?
Nope.
They bred that strain, white windowless van we talked about earlier. No, they sang a song called Zoot Suit Riot. If you were around my age, you probably remember it.
Vividly.
Yeah, I don't know. There was like maybe a week-long phase of time where, like, I wanted those wingtip Doc Martens. You know what I'm talking about? They had.
I have those wingtip Doc Martens, and I wear them regularly.
Yeah, they're
the black
awesome,
and white
actually.
ones.
Yeah, the black with, like, the white trim. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Zoot Suit Riot. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Do you know how to swing dance?
I mean, like, not anymore.
Oh, well, but there was a time.
I know lots of random weird things.
Were you at some, like, beer event last year getting hammered with your wife doing some swing dancing or something?
Me?
Yeah, you posted some event. You guys, maybe you're just generally dancing.
Oh, that might have been like the German Fest.
Yeah.
They do swing, swing-ish.
You guys look like you were having a ball, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, this shit's fun. That shit was real fun. I the 90s were a time and a place. You just kind of had to be there. Is that coming back though? Like, all the fashion and music from the 90s seems to be like what the kids are into.
It is. I kind of dig
crazy?
it.
Well, the swing phase will happen again, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
As long as we don't see like boys walking around with like little strips of hair hanging off the back of their head.
They'll have like tails sticking out the back of
Yeah,
their
that
pants
was
now and stuff too.
yeah, yeah.
Well, all right. So point was, I had filled up the pots. I had gotten them ready to go, and I was just like, you know what? No, fuck this. I'm doing auto pots. We're gonna fill up those 9 gallons, and I'm gonna do 4 autos in these 9-gallon auto pots. I have yet to see what that looks like, and I just want to see.
Captain, haven't you learned your lesson from the last time?
What's that? What's the lesson?
You overpacked your last tent and you had
Oh, I know,
chaos.
I
I
know.
think this is going to be a fucking zoo.
What do you think? You
We
think
try to
4
have an
autos?
intervention every time, and every time he doesn't listen.
But 4 autos, not like, vegged for 8-9 week photo periods and then flip.
In what size?
In 9-gallon containers.
What size tent?
I don't know, man.
And what size the tent?
5x5. Because I was thinking like I'm gonna maybe struggle to fill it up.
Well,
like, are these things gonna get big enough in this? I mean, I wonder.
It depends
how
on
many plants do you normally do in a 5x5? Let's say they're photos.
Dude, in the last round, I had 7 plants in there.
Oh my god!
4 in the auto pots, right, and then 3 in the 5-gallon containers, and that was
fine. 9
insane.
gallons is a lot.
I think they'll be fine, man, because they're not going to be over-vegged like big, huge plants before they flip into flower. They're autos.
Now that I think about it, I wonder if an auto could even take advantage of a pot that big.
That's what I'm curious about, man. Honestly,
I
I wonder.
Some of them can.
Well,
there are some really big autos out there. I throw in like BGG's Odinsons in there and see what it does.
Man, you're making me. Maybe I should have done that one. Well, I picked ones that I thought had a chance to fill it up. We got a chance.
Now, let me ask you a question.
I'd throw
Can you access this tent from at least 3 sides?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that has doors and stuff, right?
3 doors. Now I learned my lesson from last time, which was like I didn't have any support, no screen, no trellises. I'm gonna be well ahead of this time.
You could almost quadrant it out, right? And have like a quadrant for each plant. Are you
gonna scrog them? What are you doing?
Yeah, you could individually scrog them. I think where I was going.
Oh, I see where you were going with that individual scrog.
You could build like a
little
PVC big like
frame.
PVC frame for sure. Sure.
And individually scrog each one.
For sure. I think the route I'm gonna go is just out of pure ease. Is that like 5x5 AC Infinity scrog net that just attaches to the corners.
Mm-hmm.
You can stretch it out to the perimeter of the tent too if you have those like the CFM kit and get like a.
Or you could make them with PVC. They're really
easy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll work out just fine, especially since you can access the tent from the sides. Kind of get in there and do whatever you gotta do.
So I am pleased to announce that I am growing some Alebrijes. Boy, I got 2 from Alebrije.
Do tell.
One is the Salamoso OG. Should be a nice nighttimey, gassy type of strain. The other is a freebie, right? It's a freebie that came with the tangy Tibuguana pack. Very rare. It was Star Crunch crossed with Dog Walker.
Sure.
Which, from what some people tell me, was like one of their favorites that he's ever done. So like I was like, I gotta try it. There might be some hidden gems in there for sure. One from Night Owl. I think I did another Night Owl. Yeah. Sage Scout.
Oh, so good.
We were talking about it on a previous show.
Mhm.
And I just love it. Remember it fondly. I think it'll be a nice nighttimey strain again. Like that was kind of the theme of this one. Because I got all these skunks and diesels are great for daytime. But I want something to like knock you out at the end of the day. That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
this harvest should be for that. So, and then the last one, oh yeah, Outcast Pineapple Stomper.
Nice.
Right? I know. It's got that myrcene in it, I'm sure, like we were talking about.
Or if that pineapple really comes through well.
I can't wait to find out. And like he said, that one should get huge. So, maybe I will partition that one or something unruly. No. A simple net should do them just fine if you get to it early. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Like I just talking a big game about downsizing and shit. Look how long that lasted. You called it, Chief.
Yeah.
I know.
We all kind of knew
Can't control myself.
how that was going to go.
I can't control myself.
You
No
know,
one
when you have
ever
all that,
downsizes.
yeah, and when you have all that at your fingertips, and a fucking enough beans to last 1,000 years, yeah. Come on now.
That's what it is, right? I'm downsizing my seed collection, and just
There you go.
putting
By
I
4
love
seeds
it.
at a time.
putting empty tent to use. I just it pained me to look at like a dormant tent.
Yeah, it's not right.
Just needed to see that thing erupt.
Yeah.
We're using volcanic adjectives for grow tents. So where are you guys at grow wise?
And so I've got 2 super stunted mango smiles that don't even have names. They like don't really exist.
Oh no.
I know. I've kind of ignored them. They've been through hell.
Why?
It's been a rough couple of months.
How do you know
Where
they're
do you
stunted?
think you went wrong?
Because they're like this big. They're
How old are
stunted.
they?
They're almost done. Like I'm ready to chop them soon.
Right. Okay.
They're
Okay. Gotcha.
We don't talk about the mango smiles in the back of the tent.
You like shoved them in the back, just
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind.
We don't talk about them.
Where do you think you went wrong?
Oh, so like my electrical panel had to be completely replaced. So my whole house was freezing cold when they were, I don't know, 4 weeks old. So they were living in like 50-degree temperatures at 4 weeks old. I stunted the ever living shit out of them. It was totally my fault. Yeah. Didn't water them correctly.
no.
They're in 3-gallon pots, and I was like watering them like they were in 5-gallon pots. I'd come down and they were like definitely super dry, and I'm like, I just didn't take good care of them, Hence why I have 4 night owls in the auto pots, and they're doing way better. So I have 2 mango aisles. Oh my god, they smell so good! Holy crap, they smell so good! I can't wait. And then Mango Myrrh, who is big and beautiful. She's huge. And a Mandela Effect, who's fasciated. And they're just hitting the stretch really right now. We're really into the stretch, getting a little bit bigger. But yep, they're doing great. And then mushrooms are growing too. And then once the night owls are done, we'll see. Maybe we'll grow some of these mango sunsets. And then I have this Alabrije tester that I'm really excited about. She's going to grow next too.
Oh, yeah?
Is the wolf, cow, wolf.
Wolf. Interesting.
Cow, wolf, cow.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, man.
I don't know what the actual name is. I'd have to go and check my DMs.
So many like unreleased stuff too. Like I bet you some of those are amazing, but
I'm sure. Yeah. So this girl's supposed to come out, I think, I want to say May, but
Cool.
that might be wrong.
Man,
Maybe March, but I think it's May.
we got so many cool seed drops happening soon. I mean, our friends at Night Owl, Daz, he's got a Valentine's Day drop that just posted about. Looks great. Even got me thinking among my massive seed collection. Like, shit, I might need to buy some more.
No, you don't. I mean, yes, you do, but like, no. Do any of us really need to buy more seeds?
Like you just read
Yes, we
about them and
do.
you're like, oh wow, yeah, that does sound really good. I would like to try that. The wallet starts to open on its own. Let's just say. I'm gonna try to resist.
I've said it before, and I will say it again. It's conservation for the future. You're conserving and protecting these genetics. Store your seeds wisely for the future.
In a deep freeze like the Svalbard International Seed Bank.
Do they deep freeze their stuff?
Well, that's why
they cryo it.
That's why they're on Svalbard. It's like fucking negative 50 degrees up there.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's like, yeah, and they have like all the whole like catalog of all like the seeds of like humanity, right? If something ever were to happen, at least we have this underground vault where all the seeds are kept. And I don't know how you're going to access it in like a post-apocalyptic scenario, but
yeah, and the thing is, if like everything, if
there.
everything dies to the point where we need that shit, how are you gonna plant? Wouldn't be on this planet.
Yeah, right. I mean that. Well, there you go. Maybe it's like a Wall-E situation.
That's when the indoor growers take over. That is our time, people.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, you know, you ever see what's that one with Matt Damon? Is it The Martian?
The Martian.
Yeah.
Where he starts growing fucking potatoes and using shit as fertilizer. Pretty fucking. It's actually a pretty cool movie.
Yeah,
I don't mind
for
that
sure.
movie. Yeah.
I'll have to use that in maybe the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Just thought of a great one. Well, yeah. Did you mention what you're doing in the grow there, Monster? Like what you got?
So I got those cherry smash. I not the cherry smash. I'm sorry, I'm high as fuck. Those Tino strawberries S1s.
Ooh.
And I got 6 of them going, and 2 of them I'm really not happy with. They're kind of like runted out. They're just not doing as good as the rest of them. And it's just a pure example of like if I'm gonna grow 6 of the same plant, I'd rather just grow from clone, set myself up for success. So I'm gonna grow them out, and I'm probably honestly gonna cull the 2 that I'm not happy with because it's just kind of a waste of time at this point with them. And I will. I'd have to go back and look at pictures. I don't know. I'd say about 2.5, 3 weeks or so.
Mm.
Yeah. And then there's the other 4. There's 3 of them that look exactly the same. It's crazy. I keep like ripping off big fan leaves to expose branches, and then like I come back in a couple days and there's more big fan leaves covering up branches. It just keeps growing. It's kind of squat right now. It hasn't really started to take off height wise yet. Probably will more so in flower, but I'll be flipping them rather early. I'm not gonna like. I'm not trying to grow. I'm basically this is just a pheno hunt with these. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I got the Lemon Carver Pure Michigan crosses. They're about a week and a half old. Actually, no, probably. Yeah, they're coming close on 2 weeks too. I'll have to stop posting about this. I've been posting a little bit more on Instagram, but I'm almost thinking about starting a new account, honestly, just because I post shit and they like delete it right away, and there's only so much shit that I can post. It's almost fucking pointless.
Make a backup account and then
I do have a backup
post
account
about that one on your existing one, just so we can start to follow you.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Because Instagram is just fucking ridiculous at this point. I mean, we talked about it so many times. It's like beating a fucking dead horse. But, man, I just, it's fucking plants, man. I'm not posting fucking snuff films here. What the fuck?
I know.
Probably could post snuff films, and that would be okay.
And some of this shit on Instagram, too. Like, I mean, really, like, I know we might have heard, like, High Again got banned for like some it was like sexual content or something. Like,
such
what?
bullshit.
And like, meanwhile,
Sexual
every
exploitation
reel
or
that I
something.
scroll through,
Sexual
oh my, dude,
solicitation.
don't get me wrong.
No.
I like absolutely insane, for real. So
And don't get me wrong, I
Plant.
appreciate
It's a
these girls
plant.
shaking their ass on IG and stuff, you know. But if they don't get fucked with, like, why should I?
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they're just, again, like they got it out for our community. They always have. We kind of knew it, like when you sign up, when you go there, it's all part of the gig. We all get banned eventually at some point. It's like a rite of passage. You know what I mean?
Death and
like,
taxes.
If you don't get banned, you're just not doing it right. I don't know, but I don't know. It's frustrating and it sucks.
It really kind of all started for me last summer when I posted a video of a mat that I have outside of my house that says trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again, and and it's all been downhill since then.
I like that one. I like that one. Just don't trespass. That's the fucking point, you know?
Yeah, you know?
God.
Well, in their eyes, you're a homicidal drug addict. So
Yeah. That's probably how they have me like profiled at.
No.
Look at this guy. Love him.
Man. You know, and before we wrap it up here, like, I will say, like, there was some drama in the community over the last few days. A particular breeder made a damn fool out of himself. You know, video, audio, very, very sensitive situation, let's just say. Like, obviously, the guy's a dick. I don't know how else to put it. The guy's an absolute dick. Like, you heard what you heard. Mm-hmm. There's far too many breeders out there to be growing the seeds of a dick. Simple as that. Like,
yeah.
The community's vast, and we have so many great breeders out there who like stand by their principles, who would, you know, who you would be proud to call a friend.
And if you or anyone you know are experiencing domestic violence, please reach out to someone for help. There's plenty of resources available. You can definitely reach out to one of us. Lots of hotlines. People are there available for you. You're not alone.
Truth. It's you know, it's a serious matter. It really is. And I think we were all shocked. You know, we can just sum it up by saying the guy's a dick. You know, I think people are ending whatever business deals they had with him. Good, you know. I heard a lot of people saying things like, well, the plants did nothing wrong. You know, why would you, like, just call them something different and just grow them anyway? Like, I disagree. The plants were involved. They were conspirators in. They weren't okay. The plants, in my opinion, picked up negative vibes at the very least, and you don't want that shit anywhere near your garden. You don't.
No, there's countless people to buy from, that have morals and ethics, and like, dude, not even tripping. Like, there's better gear out there, even if the dude was a fucking perfect gentleman. So like, there's plenty of other people to buy from, you know, and that's kind of one of those things that, more than really anything in cannabis, when it comes to buying seeds, you want to be voting with your fucking dollars and buying from people that deserve your money.
Yeah, man. You know, like, for me, where I'm at in my like seed popping journey, okay? If I can't message the person on Instagram or Discord and get a response and have a talk like real people about, you know, their seeds or anything, life in general. Sometimes I'll just send them love poetry at 2 a.m. for no reason at all, just because. But I want
you're
a
really
response.
special.
I want real people. I will only grow the gear of real people that I can like get a hold of on IG and like they're accountable for their shit. Like if they're just like a brand, a fucking like nebulous entity that like, you know, some, what do they call them? Culture vultures. Like, where'd he come from, man? He like tries to be like this Rasta type persona. Like, listen, I don't know, man. I think that's some poser type shit. I really do. I want
Yeah.
to deal with real people. I want to deal with like I'll grow the gear of my friends. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Why
it.
would I
Like
look
I
past that?
have so many people I know personally that I could get gear from. I can literally like talk to them at any time, and that people I know, uh, shit, just even people you don't know, people you may just like, like you said, you can reach out and talk to them. Like, come on, man, you
Yeah,
know.
accountability. Here's a valid question from Five Baked. I don't know if this is this your situation currently. He says, "What if the cut you got wasn't grown by him or received by him ethically? Can you grow it?" I mean, I don't.
That's up
I'm,
to you.
yeah, I mean,
Really,
look, I
we're not going to tell you whether you can do. Cap is just spouting
No, I
off his
think
own
they're all. I
opinion.
think they're all tainted with bad juju
I, look, I
Even
and
if
wouldn't
they
domestic
weren't,
tell
and they were
violence.
involved.
You don't want that
if you
shit
got
anywhere.
if you paid good money for his gear and you want to grow it out, I wouldn't stop you, nor would I judge you. I
Okay, so
would,
here's
however, I would, however, judge you if you fucking supported him now and bought gear currently and actively tried to pursue his gear. I think that would kind of be dumb. But like, if you sounds like Fives already has a cut that he wants to run, I
so this
wouldn't judge you for it.
chimera, and I've heard from more than one source that the chimera itself is really spectacular for Tourette's. So
Oh,
there are a
really?
lot of
Interesting.
people that have found a
Well,
specific strain of his happens to be good medicine for them. So, like in that case, what happens?
well, I do have Tourette's. My ears perked up when you said
Right.
that.
So, this is, and I didn't know about this until all of this blew up, and I saw a couple people saying, please don't trash the chimera stuff. This is my medicine. I need it. If you need to get rid of it, send it to me. I will use it and never like tag anybody or anything. So in that case, what then?
See, yeah, I mean, now you're bringing this gray area into. Man, G3, why do you got to make things
I
complicated?
really don't think it's that great.
Because
I mean,
life is
like I said, like
complicated.
I
if
know.
you
It
give me
is.
gear
It
that
is.
you've already purchased and you're a cut or whatever, that's okay
It
in my
is.
book. I mean, but like to add to purchase new shit of his, I think is kind of that would be
Yep.
kind of a dink, and I would look down on you if you did.
That's a good analogy there. Five baked. It's like R. Kelly
R.
music.
Kelly.
Like, I can still like get down to some of those tunes, even though I know what I know about R. Kelly. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't like negate the art behind. Like I mean, shit. Led Zeppelin did a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of groupies who may or may not have even been 18. Like it's just look all over the musical scene. It's like fuck,
A lot of
man.
bad people out there.
There are, and it's like
This is true.
uh, they say
At the
like
end of
you
the
never want to
day,
meet your heroes is what they say, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's like the more like and not don't get me wrong, not everyone has like domestic violence in their history for real. Like you would that's like so beyond um you know beyond the pale, I would say. But like, I don't know, if you dig hard enough, I don't know, everyone's got some, let's just say, shadier parts of the closet. I'm in the closet. come. Stuck in the closet. Isn't that one of R. Kelly's songs?
Oh my God.
Fuck, man. Fucking A.
Chappelle does a good skit on that one. This is a spoof video.
It was a good South Park episode too, man. I remember correctly, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say on it, guys. Like again, you need recommendations for breeders. Come hit us up. Come into our Discord. We got a channel for that kind of stuff. So
lots of good options out there.
Yeah, for real. Like that's the hardest part for me is deciding what the hell I'm going to grow next because so many great options. Right?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get this party closed. Let's kick these people out and start cleaning up this mess. What do you say?
Last call.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you both for
A pleasure as always,
doing
sir.
the show.
And thank you, everyone, for hanging with us.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, guys. However you found us, tell a friend. Word of mouth is the best way we can grow the show. So help us out. Tell a friend and pop on over to our Discord. We also have a Patreon if you feeling generous and want to support us. That is how we keep the lights on. So, shit, monsters just went out. Fuck. We need more people donating. Help us. Well, thank you guys. Until next time, don't get caught.